Here we go. That's got one more button to push. Two more buttons to push. Oh, back to gallery view.
Okay, that's recording.
So glad you guys joined us. Woo.
Okay,
Okay,
now we're good.
Ned's starting.
Good morning. And also, thanks for practicing with us. I hope you're staying healthy and happy and taking advantage of some of the solitude that you get by being alone and staying home. And also hope you're not completely alone, you have your family with you. So let's begin by lying down on our back. Okay, bend your left knee and put your left foot on the ground, and your right knee and put your right foot on the ground. Then move your shoulder blades a little bit together underneath you so that your sternum moves up toward the ceiling of the room that you're in. Take your right leg and straighten it and bring your heel up toward the ceiling. Pull your red toes back toward your knee. Then reach your hands up to your knee area behind your knee and give that leg some support. And then maybe move an inch up your knee. Then you can bend your knee any amount. You don't have to have a straight right leg. And some of us will have hamstrings that are talking to us from other sports that we're doing right now. And some of us will just be tight in our hamstrings, and most of us are. And pull your toes back toward your knee a little bit more. Feel your back of your calf stretch. And then move maybe just an inch up farther wherever you are. If it feels like pain, don't do it. Don't do anything in yoga that feels painful. Learn to distinguish the difference between pain that's healthy pain and pain that will cause injury. Maybe it won't cause injury that you'll notice after one yoga class, but if you do it over several yoga classes, that pain will add up into an injury. Reach your fingers up just a little bit more, one more inch farther. Go any amount. Pay attention to your own body. Notice what it feels like. Don't let me lead you in a direction that would cause pain or injury. Good job. Let your leg now loose. Bring it down to the floor. Put your foot on the right leg down onto the floor and lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Let's start off by just holding behind the knee and pull your toes back toward your knee, toward your face. Straighten your left leg any amount. Again, listen to your body and stay away from any pain. Move your fingers and your support up, down the leg just a little bit, maybe an inch. Pull your toes back toward your knee again. Feel your calf begin to stretch a bit. Move your fingers up just a little bit more. I guess it's moving your fingers up toward the ceiling, which is down your leg. And continue to support your foot, your leg, your lower leg. A couple more seconds of stretch here. And then bend your left knee and put it down to the ground. Put your left foot on the ground. Let your knees just roll off to the left-hand side. And keep your shoulders on the mat so your knees move any amount to the left. And then lift your knees up vertical again. Move them a little bit to the right. Move them vertical again and off to the left. And then just continue moving side to side at your own speed, your own depth. Good job. Bring your knees now closer to your chest. Let your feet come off the mat. Grab a hold of the front of your knees and pull your knees toward your chest. And when you do that, See if you can focus on letting your tailbone still remain on the ground. If you pull and your tailbone moves off the ground, then just don't pull it as hard. And then pull your toes back toward your knees again. Nice lower body stretch and wake up call. Bring your feet down to the mat. Roll your knees to the side. Push yourself up so that you're more vertical. Switch your knees with your hip bones and come to a tabletop. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders, about shoulder distance apart. Your knees are right underneath your hips, about hip distance apart. Spread your fingers on your palms, pushing down into the mat. Spread them really wide and bring your focus onto your index finger and your thumb. See if you can flatten your index finger and your thumb. Good job. Inhale, let your belly drop down, let your head raise up. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale, push the middle of your back upward, let your head drop down. This is cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, our other movement. Belly drops down. Exhale, bring your middle of your back upward, cat pose. One more of each. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral. Look over your left hand shoulder. Let your hips maybe move a little bit to the right, and look at your left ankle. Take an inhale breath here and feel your right ribs expand. Exhale, move back to the middle. Gaze over your right shoulder and your right ankle. Maybe your hips move a little bit to the left. Take an inhale breath and feel your left ribs expand. Exhale, bring yourself back to neutral. Gaze over the left shoulder one more time. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to neutral. Gaze over the right shoulder, the right ankle. Take an inhale. Exhale, come back to neutral. Tuck your toes under, push into your hands, maybe move your hand a couple of inches closer to the top of your mat. Lift your knees up and let your hips move up toward the ceiling, downward facing dog. Your heels descend any amount, pushing hard into your hands. Your hands become about as far away from your shoulders as they can. Take an inhale breath and look to the top of your mat. As you exhale, slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands. Find yourself in a standing forward fold. Bend your knees any amount here. Bring spider fingertips to the floor. Maybe move your feet a little bit farther apart for a ragdoll pose. Your hands go to your elbows, opposite elbow. The weight of your hands and arms pull your torso down. Let your head just relax and hang loose. And take your gaze and move it to the right-hand side. And then move it to the left-hand side. Back to the right. Back to the left. And then just a neutral position with your neck. Feel yourself just descend a little bit closer to the ground. Bend your knees any amount so you don't feel any pain. Drop your hands down to the mat, toe heel your feet so that they're about hip distance apart now. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins, gaze down at the mat, your back is flat. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend your knees and spider fingertips to the floor. Inhale, push into your feet, raise your hands above your head, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down at your side. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. And that's a really modified sun salutation. Let's do that 3 more times together, but I'm not going to say a word, and you're going to focus on your breath. Make it about your breath. So 1 breath, 1 movement. And start with an inhale breath as you raise your hands upward. Good job, everybody. It's nice to have me not talking and have you just focus completely on your breath. So with that in our minds, let your hands face forward, bring your shoulders backward, your sternum forward. Take an inhale for 1/3 of your breath, another third, fill it all the way up to the top. Very, very slow exhale through your nose. See if you can make your exhale much longer than your inhale. Inhale for a third, another third, fill it all the way up. Very, very slow exhale. Inhale for a third, another third, fill it all the way up. Very, very slow exhale through your nose. Last time, inhale for a third, another third, all the way to the top, all the way out. Good job. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bend forward at the waist, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. So you exhale, step your right foot back, warrior 1 feet. Your right foot's at 45 behind you, your feet are wide compared to each other. Bend your front knee and bring your hands to your hips. Push your right hip forward and your left hip back. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. You're in a high plank or a tabletop pose. Either one works perfectly here. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Bring yourself up any amount. Warm up slowly. Lower yourself down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower yourself back down. The last time, point your toes a little bit more. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Tuck your toes under, come through tabletop or through high plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here in downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it in. Exhale it out. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, either slowly walk your feet up or jump your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. Inhale, raise them up again. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist. Bend your knees any amount, spider fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, warrior 1 pose. Front knee is bent, back foot 45, hands to your hips. Push your left hip forward and your right hip backward. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to bring your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. tabletop or high plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Leave your elbows close to your torso when you go down. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose, Pigeon. Exhale, lower yourself down. Tuck your toes under, come through tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths together again in downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale again. Exhale again. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, walk or jump your feet up to meet your hands. I think that only took 2 breaths in that downward facing dog, but that's okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, push into your feet, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down. Inhale, hands above your head again. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, high crescent lunge. So your back heel is up this time. Your front knee is bent. Bring your torso upward and then raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Take an inhale here in either tabletop or high plank. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Point your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower yourself down. Tuck your toes under, come through tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top. Exhale, get your feet up to meet your hands somehow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, raise your hands upward. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. Inhale, hands upward. Exhale, standing forward fold, bend forward at the waist, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, high crescent lunge. Your front knee's bent, your hips are squared to the front. You can push your left hip forward and your right hip backward. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Point your toes, inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower yourself down. Tuck your toes under, high plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to the top. Exhale, walk or jump your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Drop your hands down to your side. Bring your right hand backward and your left hand forward. And switch your hands with each other, your right hand forward and your left hand back. And then continue to move yourself side to side. Kind of do this as sort of a reset and recovery. You can try to keep your hips forward, but you don't need to. And then relax your arms down at your side. Take your hands and shake them toward the floor a few times. Pretend like you just washed your hands and you're shaking that water off. There's no towel to dry your hands off with, so you just have to shake the water off your hands. Good job. And then just let your hands relax your side. Make a circle with your index finger and your thumb. Bring one arm over the top of your head, front to back. The other arm, front to back. And then just continue doing this Kriya. It's hard to believe as we do this, it's hard to believe that there are I think there are 250,000 different Kriyas out there. We're just doing one of them. It would appear this is the only one I know. It's not true, but I do like it a lot because I do feel like it loosens our torso up and it balances the left and the right side. And then get your breath involved. Inhale through your nose. Exhale it out. Inhale again. Exhale it all out. Good job. Bring your hands down to your side. Just look down at your mat and bring yourself to a seat. You can look for a block or a homemade block or a pillow, a thick hard pillow. But find yourself maybe sitting on your mat, sitting on your carpet with your knees bent and crossed in front of you. Good job. Inhale, raise your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee. Gaze over your left hand shoulder, take an inhale breath. As you exhale, turn your head across the front of your body, but keep your twist going with your arms. Inhale, back to the left. Exhale, twist across the front. One more time to the left. And one more time across the front. Move your hands to just be on each knee. Inhale, raise your hands above your head again. Exhale, move your left hand to your right knee. Your right hand was by your fingertips behind you. Push into the back hand, make your torso really vertical. Take an inhale, look off to the right hand side. Exhale, across the front. Inhale, back to the right. Exhale across the front of your body. One more time. Exhale across the front. Good job. Bring both hands back to your knees. Leave your left hand on your knee and bring your right hand to your face. With your palm facing toward you, we've done this before, alternate nostril breathing. It's called Nadi Shodhana in Sanskrit. Fold down your first two fingers. Your thumb is still upward, your ring finger is still upward, and your pinky finger is still upward. Cover your right nostril with your thumb and take an inhale breath through your nose. Switch to your ring finger in the left nostril and exhale out through your nose. Don't switch and inhale. And switch back to the thumb and exhale it out. Don't switch and inhale. Switch back to the ring finger and exhale it all out. Don't switch and inhale. Switch back to your thumb and exhale it all out. Don't switch and inhale. And switch back and exhale it all out. Good job. Draw both hands back to your knee. Remove the block. Bring yourself onto your back. Have your knees bent. And come onto your back with your knees bent and your feet on the mat. Bring your right ankle and put it on top of your left knee. Now take your hands to the top of your right knee and push it forward just a little bit. And then let your hands loose and bring your hands so that your right hand goes in between your left leg and your bent knee. And your left hand goes outside of your left knee and bring both hands to clasp in front of your left knee. Pull both toes on both legs back toward your knees and spread your toes if you want. Now your right elbow can push your right knee forward just like we did with our hands. And your hands can pull your left knee back toward your chest. This is a reclined figure four pose. And then just continue to breathe. Go to any depth here. Go to the depth that works for you, that you feel tightness and no pain. If you feel any pain at all, just don't do it. Good job. Let go of your hands. Bring your left foot back to the mat. Your right foot then goes next to your left. And we'll switch and move to the other side. So your left ankle goes on top of your right knee. Your hands move to your right knee and push it forward just a little tiny bit. And your left hand threads the needle between your bent knee and your right leg. It goes in front of your right leg. So your right hand clasps with your left. Pull your toes back toward your knees. Use your elbow and your right arm to push your left knee forward just a little bit. Stay away from pain. Continue to breathe. Recline figure four again. Good job. And maybe, like Margot, you can do a little organic movement here, side to side. Maybe front to back. Let both feet down to the mat. Let your knees fall off to the right-hand side. Push yourself back up onto your knees. Hands and knees pose, tabletop. Bring your big toes to touch. Your knees wide on the mat. Reach your hands far out in front of you. Maybe push into your index finger and your thumb as you do this. You can reach your hands a little bit more forward. Let's take a couple breaths together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose again. Open mouth, exhale. One more inhale. And one more exhale. And the next voice you hear will be Margot.
From your child's pose, feel your hands in the mat. Glide forward, hips rise. Just find tabletop, fall forwards. As you inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, round your spine, push your hands into your mat and sink hips to heels if that feels good in your body. Again, come forward. There's an inhale breath in cow pose, and then exhale, sink hips to heels. Gliding forward, inhaling, heart drives forward, and then press into your hands around your spine, tuck your chin, sink hips to heels, and glide forward. Find tabletop, step your hands, one hand print forward, tuck your toes. Leave the ground, knees rise, hips are pushing towards where ceiling meets wall or some general skyward direction. Really drive through your hands, knees can be bent. Look right at your feet, keep breathing. If you're having some inner dialogue about why your heels don't reach the floor, could be structural. Your heels may never reach the floor. You might practice for 25 years and your heels will never reach the floor, so it's not a big deal. Raise your gaze on an inhale. And as you exhale, feet meet hands at the top of your mat. You can hop, you can step. And inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your spine, push your head across your space. Exhale down. Inhale to come up, arms also rise, hands reach, and exhale, hands touch, thumbs right to your sternum. Drop your hands, inhale. Exhale into a forward fold, fingertips down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips down. Step the left foot back, warrior 2 feet. So your left foot is directly behind the right. You could connect them with a fishing pole or a yardstick. Bent front knee. Kneecap is guiding right over the center of your foot, aimed at your middle toes. Your knee is over your ankle. You don't collapse inward, you keep it straight. Back leg straight and strong. Inner thighs draw together, feel your feet steady there. And then float your arms out, parallel to the floor. Same plane as your thighs. And settle here, big exhale breath. Reach forward, turn your front palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Everything from your waist down stays incredibly steady. Feel this side bend. It's not a back bend, it's a side bend. Find an exhale breath. Forearm to thigh. Left arm can stay lying on your side, can reach straight overhead, like to the 12 o'clock position, or reach out over your ear. Many choices. Again, your lower body from the waist down hasn't moved. Of course, it's adjusting to keep you steady, but it's steady. Inhale, back up into warrior two. Arms long. Soften your gaze. Soften your face. Windmill your hands down. Frame your front foot. We're going to step back. So tabletop or plank here. Exhale. I put my knees down all the way to the floor. Bring your hands down by your side. We're going to do locust pose. So this is when you lift your chest, your arms, and your legs. So you're balancing from your ribs to your pelvis. And breathe here. Put your attention in your back body, the strength of your back body, drawing towards your spine. One more breath here. And then exhale, your hands come to right by your chest, push into your hands, pass through tabletop or plank, and find your way to down dog. Inhale here. Open mouth, exhale. Lift your left leg. Step your left foot in between your hands. You might have to come up on your fingertips. You might have to give it some help. And then find your way up into warrior 2 feet. Left leg forward. There's a line between your front foot and your back foot. Your back foot's angled forward, toes a little bit forward. You might feel the stretch in your calf as you reach down through the outer edge of that back foot. We're taking our time here. We've got time. Lower body steady, reach your arms out. Settle here, big exhale breath. Reach forward, palm up, left fingertips to the ceiling or the sky, reverse warrior. Lower body steady. Return your attention to your breathing. Side body stretch, feel your ribs expand and contract. And then exhale, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. You choose the position for your right arm. The cadence of your breath might be different than what Ned and I do. That's not a problem. Your attention to your breath is such a distinguishing factor of yoga. Inhale, come back up into your warrior 2. Settle here. Windmill, fingertips down, frame the front foot. We'll step forward, push off the back, step into your forward fold, head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do both sides again. We'll pick up the pace a little bit. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips down, step back with the left foot, warrior 2 feet. Come up into warrior 2, arms parallel. Reach forward, find an inhale breath, fingertips to sky or ceiling. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back into warrior two. And exhale breath, we're gonna step back. Find an exhale breath to lower down all the way to the floor, hands by your sides. Inhale into locust. Stay here for another breath cycle. Your second inhale, you might lift up a little higher. And then exhale, move your hands by your chest. Press through tabletop into down dog. Inhale your left leg. Step it forward between your hands. Tack down your back foot. Come up into warrior two, left foot forward. Fingertips forward, then up. Reverse warrior. Exhale, extend in side angle. Inner thighs draw together to keep your lower body steady. Inhale to come back. Warrior two. Exhale, fingertips down. Push off the back foot into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to come all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your left foot back. Turn both feet to the long edge of your mat. And then turn both toes out. So the right one is at like 1 or 1:30 and the left one is at 10:30 or 11. Sink your hips. Lift your chest. Hands come first to the top of your hips. Breathe here. On an inhale breath, stand up, straighten your legs. On an exhale breath, bend your knees, sink your tailbone. Inhale. Exhale. Tailbone is what drives down first. Inhale. Exhale. Everything's drawing to the center. Bring your arms into this as you come up, arms overhead. Exhale. Arms come to meet. Inhale. So there's no hanging around here. This is really integrated. Fitness people would call it very isometric. And it's on the breath, which brings it into the realm of yoga. Pause at the top. Turn your heels out so your feet are straight, parallel with the outer edges of your mat. Soft knees. Right hand descends outside the left foot. Bend the left knee. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, left hand outside the right. Bend the right knee. So you can put your chest right down on your thigh. Inhale to come up. Exhale down. So that thing we did with Ned, a couple of them, the Kriya, as well as the turning of the head, crossing the midline of your body with such deliberation, we're doing it here as well. So be aware of the twist of your fingertips getting down onto your foot. One more time, each side. Right hand outside, left foot. Inhale to come up. And exhale, left hand down onto right foot. Come up. Heels come in again. Toe heel your feet towards each other. And then step to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead. If you have a block nearby, you'd like to have it near your feet. So try that again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Think of this as your spinal reset. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. So I want you to leave your fingertips down. Step your left foot back. A short warrior two. So not as long as you're capable. And come up. First, reach out into your warrior two posture. And then exhale your hands, straighten your front leg. Inhale your hands parallel to the floor, bend into your front leg, warrior two again. Exhale into triangle legs. Inhale into warrior two. Exhale, straighten that front leg into triangle legs. Inhale into warrior two. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, both arms overhead. Put your left hand down your left side body. Keep your right arm up. Your right arm's right next to your ear. Exhale, leaning forward in the plane of your front leg. That block is a target for your hand or the top of your shin. Triangle pose. If you like, you can float that left hand off your side body, straight overhead. Draw your ribs in, and then try turning them just a fraction more towards your top hand. Draw your shoulder blades together. One more breath here. If you like, reach your left hand out over your left ear. You can pick up your right hand. You'll notice your core really fires up to do this. Breathe here, and then come up into warrior two. Bend into your front leg. Reach your arms out. Settle here. Let an inhale breath simply sweep you to the top of your mat. You might want to switch your block near the left front foot. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fingertips down, right leg steps back. It's a short warrior two stance. Right toes are angled forward. So first find your warrior two. This time, raise your arms up over your head as you straighten your front leg. Inhaling up, exhaling back into warrior two. Inhaling up, exhale into warrior two. Inhaling up, exhaling into warrior two. Inhale your arms overhead, stay here. Legs are in triangle. Right arm down on the right side body, left arm by your ear. As you exhale, glide forward and down. Try to keep this in the side bodies, not a back bend of any kind. Fingertips to the block. Float that right hand up to the ceiling. Gather your ribs to the midline. Gather your inner thighs to work towards each other, even as your feet are pressing down. If you like, take your right arm out over your right ear. Pick up your left fingertips. It's like you're holding something really precious between your hands. Breathe here. And then bend into the front leg. Come up into warrior two. Settle with an exhale breath. It's an inhale that sweeps you to the top of your mat. Take a look down at your feet, hip distance apart. Your hips are right here. So that's about 2 fists. Step into the left foot. Pick up the right. Maybe your right thigh is parallel to the floor. Flex your toes. Point your toes. See what that feels like. See if you can make space between your toes. Then put your right foot down. Stand into it. Hug muscle to bone, pick up the left. Again, see what it feels like to move your ankle, toes, space, left foot down. Come to kickstand. Stand on the left, right heel above left ankle. Big exhale breath here. As you follow the breath, inhaling and exhaling, Experiment with moving into the variations of tree. So tree posture can be kickstand, can be the bottom of your foot against your calf. Your standing leg pushes into the bottom of your foot, whether your foot is up in your groin, pressing into your inner thigh, calf, and your arms can be anything you want them to be. Hands on hips, hands pressing together, activating your whole core, hands floating, hands reaching up. If you feel steady, try closing your eyes, or even just softly closing them. If you feel unsteady, fix your gaze across the room on something that doesn't move. Step down. Step right into the right leg, hug muscle to bone, kickstand. Everybody can start with kickstand. Maybe try that gaze thing right now, and then experiment with your version of tree. Notice the differences, notice the similarities, lift your heart, lift your chest. Notice the quality of your breath, its characteristics. Refresh it. Step the left foot down. Now is the time for a little shake out the right leg, shake out the left leg, and we're going to do that all again. Stand into the left. Start with kickstand. Experiment with where you want to be. If your pants are slippery, you can lick your hand, touch the bottom of your foot, and it'll make it a little tackier. Lift your heart, push your tailbone down, hip pointers a little bit forward. See how vertical you can get. Steady gaze. Are you breathing? Okay, step down. See how deliberate you can be. Step right into that right foot. Kickstand. Find your version of tree. Left side, right side might not be the same. And I'm certain that yesterday, today, and tomorrow are all different from each other. Breathing. Posture. Gaze. Step down. That was awesome. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands on the mat. Step back to tabletop or plank. And then push into down dog. We're going to pigeon pose. The reverse of pigeon pose is the supine figure 4 that we did with Ned already. So some of you will know what feels good in your knees and your hips. So this is a yogi's choice moment. I'm going to pigeon, lift the right leg. The target is right kneecap behind right wrist. Lay your shin down. Your heel's going to be at an angle down towards your left thigh. I want everybody to dig who's doing it this way. Ned's going to, oh my goodness. Ned is in pigeon. He's usually a supine figure 4 guy.
Be careful of your knees.
That's what I say. Here's what Ned just said. Be careful of your knees. So you're up on your hands. You're pushing into your hands like you were about to do a plank. Flex your right toes towards your right shin. It has the effect of digging them into your mat. See what this feels like. Look down the left side of your body. You want a long straight line. Unfold your left toes. And then look down the right side of your body also. You can stay right here up on your hands. Or if you like, you can come down to your forearms. And if you like, you can put a block in front of you or a book and put your forehead on it. Some of you may have the fluidity in your body to come right all the way down onto the mat. But it's not a collapse. Think about drawing to the midline. Think about kneecaps drawing towards each other. What's your breath doing? I'm going to take 3 more breaths here. They could be your pace. They don't have to be my pace. That was one of mine. When you're ready, hands under shoulders. Tuck the back toes, come forward just a little bit, take the weight into your hands, find your way back to tabletop or plank, and push into down dog. Lift the left leg. The target is left kneecap behind left wrist. Lay down your foot. Remember about flexing your toes towards your shin on the bent front leg. Unfold your back leg. And then that gaze down the back, it's like you got to turn around and see what's behind you. Both sides. On the right side, you're looking for a leg that's parallel to the outer edge of your mat. Lift your heart, lift your chest. You can even drag the heels of your hands towards your hips and then come down. It's sort of a version of Sphinx pose with your arms down, forearms down. And if you like, lay your head down on a block, on your hands. That would be called sleeping pigeon. 3 breaths here. Place your hands under your shoulders. Take the weight into your hands, tuck your back toes, press back to plank. Then down dog, look at your feet. Really active in your arms. Raise your gaze. You're going to come to a seat any way you like. Toes out in front of you. We're going to come down onto the mat. Just walk yourself down. Come back into figure 4. So start with the right leg, right ankle on left knee. Thread the needle with your hands and then roll over to your left. Put your right foot flat onto the floor. So you've just rolled your figure 4 to the left. If you like, release your hands. Left hand can grab your right shin. Right hand opens wide. Feel into your body. And then unwind all that. Make your spine straight on the mat. So you might just push through your heels a little bridge pose to make sure your spine is straight. Left ankle, right thigh, figure 4. Thread the needle, hands clasp behind your thigh. And then roll over to the right, left foot goes flat on the floor. Right hand can grab the shin to hang on, get a little leverage. And then left arm opens out to a goalpost. Try to feather it down to the floor. Retain your awareness of your breathing. Come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Lift your nose towards your knees if it feels good in your body. You can rock side to side a little bit. And then lay down flat as a pancake into Shavasana. If that doesn't serve you, this is also a time where you can sit up and just quietly sit. In Shavasana, your heels are about as wide as the edge of your mat. Arms are at your side, palms are open. Yawn your mouth open. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. We'll be here for a minute. Inhale your arms overhead. Reach from fingertips through your heels and your toes. Make a fist, open your hands bright and wide, roll your wrists, do the same with your feet, flex and point, roll your ankles, and draw your heels towards your sitting bones. Roll over onto whatever side's comfortable for you. Pause there. When you're ready, press up to a seat. Roll your shoulders up by your ears, back and down. One more time. Lift your shoulders, roll them back and down. Bring your hands to meet. Feel your palms, thumbs to the third eye, the space between your eyebrows. Be safe, be well. Make your intention for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining each other. Namaste. Everybody's unmuted.